A contractor told me something interesting recently. He said, "I think my marketing stopped working." So we pulled up his call history to see what was actually happening, and what we found was surprising. The phone had actually rung 48 times that month, but there was something strange about the way those calls played out. Once we saw it, the real problem with his business became obvious, and it had nothing to do with marketing. Real quick, if we haven't met, I'm Jonathan Scott, founder of Prestige Rep. I've been behind the scenes of hundreds of local service businesses, taking some from $300,000 per year to over $3 million a year by fixing their foundation. I've seen that most contractors don't have a lead problem. They have a leakage problem. So we built Prestige Rep to stop that leakage by installing the systems that handle your calls, reviews, and follow-ups automatically. I make these videos to show you exactly how to move from being a reactive owner-operator to a structured business owner. And if you find value in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to get more. Let me know if you can relate to this. You're on a job. Maybe you're loading something into a truck. Maybe you're under a sink. Maybe you're on a ladder. Your phone rings. You glance at it, but your hands are full. So the call goes to voicemail. You think, I'll call them back when I finish this job. Totally normal. Every contractor does this. Ever had that happen? Here's the part most contractors never see happening. By the time you call that homeowner back, they've already moved on to the next contractor. Most homeowners don't sit around waiting for contractors to call them back. They just keep dialing until someone picks up. Most contractors have had this happen before. You call the homeowner back 20 or 30 minutes later, and they say something like, "Oh, sorry, we already found someone." There's actually a behavior homeowners have that most contractors underestimate. When homeowners need a contractor, they usually don't call just one company. They search Google, they open the map, then they start calling contractors down the list. Most homeowners contact 2 to 3 companies before they hire someone, and a lot of those calls happen within just a few minutes of each other. They're not trying to run a long comparison process. They're just trying to find someone who answers the phone and can help them. So if your phone rings while you're on a job and it goes to voicemail, that homeowner is usually already calling the next contractor on the list. The job often goes to whoever answers the phone first, not necessarily the contractor who spent the most money on marketing. And here's the part that surprised a lot of contractors. Most homeowners move on to the next contractor in under 5 minutes. Not 5 hours, 5 minutes. There's actually been research done on this. A study discussed in Harvard Business Review found that businesses that respond to a lead within 5 minutes are up to 100 times more likely to connect with that customer. Think about that. 5 minutes. Now imagine you miss a call while you're on a job and call back 30 minutes later. By that point, the homeowner has probably already spoken with someone else. Before we get into the numbers, let me show you how expensive this can actually get. Because most contractors assume missed calls are just a small issue, but when you actually run the numbers, the amount of work disappearing is much bigger than most people expect. Let's run a simple example. Say your business receives 40 calls per month. That's pretty common for many service businesses. Now imagine you miss 12 of those calls because you're busy on jobs. If only 6 of those homeowners hire someone else before you call back, that's 6 lost jobs. Now let's attach a realistic job value. Say your average job is $350. 6 jobs times $350. That's $2,100 per month. Multiply that by 12 months. That's $25,200 per year for missed calls alone. Not bad leads, not bad marketing, just missed conversations. That's a new truck. That's a vacation with your family where you actually leave your phone in the room. You're literally paying a chaos tax for not having a system. Here's a quick way to estimate this in your own business. Think about 3 numbers. First, how many calls your business gets per month. Second, roughly how many of those you miss while you're on jobs. Third, your average job value. Now take your missed calls, multiply that by about 40%. Then multiply that number by your average job value. That gives you a rough estimate of what missed calls might be costing your business. For a lot of contractors, the number ends up being tens of thousands of dollars per year. And this is why a lot of contractors get frustrated with marketing. They run ads, they buy leads, they try to grow, but if the system that handles incoming calls is broken, more leads just create more missed opportunities. Growth starts to feel chaotic instead of profitable. Missing calls isn't laziness, it's just the reality of working on jobs. But losing the job because nobody responded quickly, that's a system problem. And once contractors fix that system, something interesting happens. They realize something surprising. They didn't need more leads, they just needed a system that stopped losing the ones they already had. Here's something to pay attention to this week. Notice how many calls come in while you're on jobs that you can't answer. Just count them. Most contractors are surprised by the number, and once you see it, You start looking at your phone a little differently. If you want to fix this problem today, we have the pre-built system you need. At Prestige Rep, we don't sell you more leads. We install the foundation that catches the leads you're already paying for. Inside of our foundational system, we have a feature called Missed Call Text Back. The second you can't pick up, the system sends a text message to the caller to continue the conversation through text. The system can gather information from the caller and let them know you will call them back. This keeps you in the running to quote the job and stops the homeowner from filling your spot with another contractor. If you want to learn more, drop me a comment and I will send you more information.